guys, I'm Mr. Plume, I'm Director of Maths.
And I'm Mr. Thompson, I'm Director of Digital Media.
This week, amongst other things, we're going to be talking to you about the Stock Market Challenge.
I'm going to remind you what the stock market actually is.
And we've got Geek of the Week coming up as well.
We have got Geek of the Week, and we've also been out and about in the Academy speaking to you and about what companies you'd buy.
Now, you guys will notice that we're sitting here looking down at our laps because we've got our trusty iPhones here with our scripts on, and that takes us on to Geek of the Week.
Now it's time for Geek of the Week.
Smartphones have become all the rage in recent years. Whether you have an Apple iPhone, whether you have a BlackBerry, or whether you have an HTC device running the Google Android, most phones now offer you the capacity to do much more than just make calls and send text messages. You can edit videos, you can use them as an MP3 player, you can use them to send instant messages to your friends other than text messages, and a whole host of other imaginative ideas that are constantly being improved every single day. What I like to consider is, if phones are this good today, what sort of phones are our children going to have? Maybe you'd like to think about that in your PL time.
Let me remind you about what the stock market is. I think I said last week in our last video that the stock market is basically like Great Yarmouth Market, but without the apples, pears and pineapples. Instead of apples, pears and pineapples, you can buy parts of companies.
So this week the task is all about discussing with your PL group which parts of which companies you'd like to buy, have a chat with your PL tutor, have a think about what shops you see on the high street, think about what shops you think are doing well, which ones are busy, which ones are quiet, and then think about when you want to invest your fantasy £10,000. Your PL tutor, if you're thinking about a particular company, you don't know too much about them, your PL tutor can get onto the internet for you, have a look on Google and see what sort of information you can find out, so you can find some historic share price data, think about what they do, what sector they work in, and see if they're going to make you some money.
And we went out around the Academy this week and we've been asking you which companies you'd like to buy.
If you could own any company, which would it be?
KFC.
KFC, thank you. If you could own any company, what would you buy?
Microsoft. Halfords. Bennett's.
Harrods. Subway.
Virgin Holidays.
If you could buy any company, what company would you buy?
Ormiston.
Gucci. Burger King.
Ferrari.
Brilliant.
If you could own any company in the world, what would it be? Which one would it be?
Vodafone.
So if you could buy any company, what company would you buy?
River Island.
I would buy News International.
If you could buy any company, what company would you buy?
I would buy Def Jam because I would have a lot of money.
Jimmy Choo.
Jimmy Choo, the shoe people.
Yeah.
Google.
New Look.
New Look? Okay.
If I could buy a company, I would buy Atari and I would make it the fulsome console gaming that it once was.
Who said Jimmy Choo? Jimmy Choo shoes. Was that Miss Hodds?
Yeah,
Jimmy Choo.
yeah.
Jimmy Choo shoes.
I
I've never heard of those.
They are. No.
Sounds expensive.
Clark's, Hush Puppies is. What I've done is I've set a form up online that you can visit, and the address for the form is at the bottom of the screen. All you need to do is visit this address and leave your name and your idea for the name of our weekly TV show, and Mr. Plume and I will discuss the entries and we will use the best one each week so that you'll know that you're the one who named our show.
And that address, you might want to quickly write it in so that we can move on.
Okay, so it's still at the bottom. It's still at the bottom of the screen. It's
at the bottom of the screen.
It's still
in your planners.
It's still at the bottom of the screen. Write it in your planners now. We've had a few complaints about the backgrounds on the computers around school, and some people don't like the wallpaper that I designed that had the zoom blur effect, and it seems to make them dizzy. So what I'd like you to do is come up with a different one. If you're interested, I will be running a session after school on a Wednesday. If you'd like to come and learn how to use Adobe Fireworks to make your own computer background, and the best ones we could use around the Academy instead of my efforts, then please pop along every Wednesday. It's Aspire 13. And if you come to my room, I'll run a quick session on fireworks, and then you can play around and come up with a design better than mine.
So back to today, you need to discuss with your PL groups what stocks and shares you might want to buy, and have a chat about the companies, have a look on Google with your PL tutor and see if you can find the information about those companies. And then next week,
we're going to have a screencast that shows you and your PL tutor how to log into your accounts on the Halifax Fantasy Shares Programme so that you can start making some purchases in those companies and seeing how your portfolio performs. We're done.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.
That's a wrap.
No.